aware, today is 5th June, which is celebrated as the World Environment Day all over the world. This year's Environment Day marks 50 years since the first United Nations Conference on the Human Environment in 1972, which led to the creation of United Nations Environment Programme and designation of 5th June every year as the World Environment Day. The theme of this year's Environment Day is Only One Earth, focusing on living sustainably in harmony with nature. The theme is set to make people realize as well as to remind that of all the planets out there, there is only one Earth, a habitable place not only for us humans but also for other living organisms. So, efforts should be made not only at national and international level but also at local and individual level to protect and conserve our Mother Earth. On this occasion of World Environment Day, we, the research scholars from Biodiversity Institute of Paleosciences, an autonomous institution under the Department of Science and Technology, will be sharing our views on the different areas of environment in order to create awareness among people to conserve and protect our environment.
Biodiversity. We keep hearing about this term from time to time. Cutting of trees leads to biodiversity loss. The Indian biodiversity is in crisis. A rare species of elephant is at the brink of extinction. Save biodiversity. These are some of the biodiversity highlights that catch our attention. But what is biodiversity? Bio means life and diversity means variety. So biodiversity is the existence of different life forms in one area, a variety of plants, animals and even microorganisms like bacteria. So all these life forms and microorganisms work together to create a balance in the nature and support life. They provide us everything we need to survive, that includes food, clothing, home, water, medicines and many more things. So biodiversity is important not just for the biological aspect but a societal perspective as well. However, as the basic demands of human increase, he starts craving more and more from the nature, putting biodiversity at risk. According to an annual planet report released by Worldwide Fund for Nature in 2020, a 65% decline has been observed in the population of reptiles, mammals, birds and amphibians, and that too just in a period of 50 years. Not only this, a global assessment report by Intergovernmental Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services reported that more than 1 million of plants and animal species are at the verge of being classified as endangered species. But have we ever thought about the reasons behind all this? Because of the increasing human population and their demand, the biodiversity is under stress. More than 1/3 of the world's land and 65% of the water resources are now used for crop and livestock production. And what are we humans doing? We are just polluting the water resources and clearing the forest, potentially resulting into a climate crisis. And yes, climate change is another major factor for biodiversity loss. If one tries to notice, the biodiversity loss is not happening just at an international, national or regional level, but the person can observe it in the backyard of his house too. How often do we see Goraiya Chidiya around us now? I'm sure many of you watching this video would respond in a very low number. But do you know what is the most beautiful thing about biodiversity? That it is resilient. Reduce the amount of stress on it and give it some time, it will come back to its healthy form gradually. We need to stop killing forests that provide home to a variety of animals including us just to use that land in some profitable business. We need to stop hunting down the animals and sell them in the market if we do not want to diminish the biodiversity richness of our planet. Otherwise, the rate at which we are causing changes to the nature will not be able to keep a balance and will collapse real soon. Have we ever thought that what are we leaving behind for our future generation? These tall buildings and polluted cities. Isn't it awful that they will learn about the Goraiya Chidiya from history books? And then there are companies that are related to building construction, mining and timber extraction entrepreneurship. all these companies leave a hard impact on biodiversity. So it is the duty of the authority, the leader, to introduce some policy to protect biodiversity while planning their program. Before starting the project, they should even assess the biodiversity status of the region and then operate their business in a manner that integrate conservation policies or conservation needs throughout the project life cycle. So from now on, let us try to harm our biodiversity a little less and conserve it a little more. Let us try to maintain all the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries so that the biodiversity could evolve in its better and natural way. Let us start thinking towards sustainable development. Jai.
Hi everyone, I'm Prachita Arora, a research scholar from Birbal Sahni Institute of Paleosciences under the Department of Science and Technology. Today, on 5th June, we are celebrating World Environment Day, and I'm grateful to be given an opportunity to share my few cents on it. Leo Tolstoy once said, "One of the first conditions of happiness is that the link between man and nature shall not be broken." The relationship between human being and environment is important, and it is necessary that we understand it and try to strengthen it. The term environment, in the most literal sense, simply means surroundings. These surroundings play a very important role in the well-being of all the life forms present on the planet, and it is our duty to preserve and keep everything in check. It is for this reason that we have occasions like the World Environment Day to remind us of what we are missing out. Planting a sapling, holding placards, chanting slogans, or even going on rallies. All of this is definitely something, but not everything. We need to be aware of the type of surrounding we are in and try to make it sustainable. In order to do that, it is not enough for us to do all of this just for one day, but make it our lifestyle. One of the most pressing issues of our time is environmental pollution. Any human activity that leads to degradation and depreciation of the quality of natural resources can be regarded as pollution. It is not a new phenomenon, yet it remains one of the biggest threats that the humanity is facing and one of the leading environmental causes for morbidity and mortality. The causes of environmental pollution are not limited to urbanization, industrialization, exploration and mining, but also transboundary movement of pollutants from developing countries to developed ones or vice versa. Additionally, environmental pollution can also be triggered by introduction of harmful substances such as gaseous pollutants, toxic metals and particulate matter in the atmosphere, sewage, industrial effluents, agricultural runoffs, and electronic wastes in water bodies, and activities like landfills, mining, deforestation, and illegal dumping of refuse that can cause soil pollution. It is not uncommon to find ignorance that humans' activities have led to the destabilization of natural environment, and thus these activities are being carried out even when they are resulting in serious diseases or even death. The knowledge of causes and consequences of environmental pollution is paramount. However, the cost of inaction is huge. Different physical and chemical approaches have been applied to get rid of this problem. However, they result in additional environmental issues and are very expensive. If we really want to tackle this problem, we need to recognize the importance of public participation. Even if each of us do very small deeds, it will make a difference. No deed is insignificant when it comes to saving the environment. As the saying goes, every drop makes an ocean. That is true in this case as well. There is not an exhaustive list of things one can do to protect the environment or get rid of environmental pollution, but there are some relatively easy steps that each of us can follow to reduce our carbon footprint. For example, being mindful of the choice of transportation that we do. For shorter distances, we can use bicycle, we can use carpooling, or for longer distances, we can have public transportation. We need to be aware of the food choices that we make, consuming locally and naturally grown food rather than exporting it that causes a lot of fuel consumption as well as air pollution. We need to be aware of the type of chemicals that we use in our everyday life. For example, for washing cars and utensils and cleaning our houses, we can use eco-friendly chemicals because all of this goes through sewage and ultimately stored underground in the groundwater and pollutes it. Then we can conserve water by using rainwater harvesting. We cannot waste water also. Washing utensils in running water, we can stop it. We can repair our leakage systems. We can do very small steps, and if all of us start doing these steps on a regular basis, it will make a huge difference. So this World Environment Day, let us join together and make some real change. Thank you.
If you look deep into nature, then you will understand life better. With these lines quoted by Sir Albert Einstein, I, Ms. Priya Agnihotri, a Biodiversity research scholar, wish you all a very happy World Environment Day 2022. It is the largest outreach program that is celebrated by millions of people worldwide, and it concerns with environment conservation and energy protection. As stated by the United Nations, our planet Earth currently is suffering from a triple planetary emergency that concerns with different aspects of climate, habitat loss and pollution. With increasing climate, it is becoming very difficult for all life forms to survive and adapt. It is estimated that around 1 million species are at the verge of extinction due to habitat loss and pollution that gives a very negative effect and damages our very own air, soil, water and air. The only way out of this dilemma is when we, potential citizens of the societies, align our daily course with nature. We align everything with nature, whether that purpose, whether that activity is related to our work, related to our homestay, related to where we invest our money, where we go to worship, whatever it may be, we have to align it with nature. Yes, it is understandable that bigger environment blockages are removed, and they can be removed with the help of national organizations, subnational governments, financial institutions, and there are many organizations that are playing their role very well in conserving the society, conserving the environment, keeping our surroundings neater, healthier and cleaner. But what is our role as individuals? What is our role as citizens of the society? Our major role is as awareness raisers. Our major role is to voice our opinions and to make sure that sustainable alternatives are a means for every livelihood. Every day, our sustainable resource is available at ground level. Also, it is the time now that we should stand in unison, we should stand united, and as a society, we should play immense role in keeping our environment clean, in keeping our surroundings clean, and giving a better view, beautiful view to humanity in the near future. Today is no time to rest. Yes, our earth is in an emergency mode, and as suggested by the UN's slogan this year for Environment Day, that is only one earth, we need to make sure that today is the day. There is no tomorrow if we will not take step today itself. There can be a billion universe, there can be a billion galaxies, but there is only one earth.
सॉइल, मिट्टी, एकमात्र जादुई चीज जो मृत्यु को जीवन में बदल देती है। नमस्कारम, माय नेम इज दिव्या वर्मा। आई एम अ रिसर्च स्कॉलर इन बिरबल सानी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ पैलियो साइंसेज, लखनऊ, अंडर द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, न्यू दिल्ली। हम में से ज़्यादातर लोग क्लाइमेट चेंज, कार्बन एमिशन, एयर पोल्यूशन, वाटर स्कैर्सिटी जैसी प्रॉब्लम्स के बारे में बात करते हैं, पर बहुत कम लोगों ने मिट्टी पर ध्यान दिया है। हमारी धरती की सतह पर उपजाऊ मिट्टी की एक थिन लेयर प्रेजेंट है, जिसकी वजह से हज़ारों साल से धरती पर जीवन कायम है। लेकिन मिट्टी वाकई क्या है और यह क्या करती है? बेसिकली मिट्टी इस धरती के लगभग सभी जीवों का आधार है। इट इज़ अ कॉम्प्लेक्स सिम्बायोटिक सिस्टम ऑफ ऑर्गेनिक मैटर, मिनरल्स, गैसेस, लिक्विड एंड लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म, एंड ये सभी साथ मिलकर पृथ्वी पर जीवन को कायम रखने में मदद करते हैं। अर्थ पर जितने लोग हैं ना, उससे कहीं ज़्यादा जीव एक चम्मच मिट्टी में होता है। ऑन अर्थ 87% ऑफ लाइफ डिपेंड्स ऑन सॉइल। कई मायनों में देखा जाए तो इट इज़ द सॉइल दैट सपोर्ट्स द इंटायर फूड चेन एंड द इकोसिस्टम। प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो में मिट्टी की समस्या बहुत तेज़ी से बढ़ रही है। एग्रीकल्चरल, डिफॉरेस्टेशन और दूसरी कई वजहों से ऊपरी मिट्टी बहुत तेज़ी से खराब और नष्ट हो रही है। ग्लोबली हम बात करें तो 52% of our agricultural land is already degraded. According to United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, that is UNCCD, every second 1 acre of soil become desert. इंडियन स्पेस रिसर्च ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इसरो का कहना है कि ग्लोबली अराउंड 24 बिलियन टन्स of fertile soil and 27,000 biospecies are lost each year. UN रिपोर्ट के अकॉर्डिंग दुनिया के खेत टूटने के कागार तक पहुंच चुके हैं और यदि मिट्टी इसी तेजी से खराब होती रही तो इस धरती पर जीवन का अंत हो सकता है। खराब मिट्टी की वजह से हम फूड क्राइसिस, वाटर स्कैसिटी, लॉस ऑफ बायोडाइवर्सिटी, क्लाइमेट चेंज जैसी कई समस्याओं से जूझ रहे हैं। यह अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है कि अगले 20 से 30 सालों में 930 करोड़ लोग धरती पर होंगे and then 40% less food is expected to be produced. खराब मिट्टी की वजह से फूड की जो न्यूट्रिशनल वैल्यू है वो कम हो रही है। 2 बिलियन पीपल सफ़र फ्रॉम न्यूट्रिशनल डिफिशियंसी, जिससे कई तरह की बीमारियां हो रही हैं। जैसा कि हमने देखा मिट्टी हमारे लिए कितनी इम्पॉर्टेंट है, सो इन्वायरमेंट से रिलेटेड मोस्ट ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स कैन बी एड्रेस्ड बाय क्रिएटिंग हेल्दी सॉइल। यह सोचना वाकई भ्रम है कि इन्वायरमेंट के किसी एक पहलू को बाकी पहलुओं से अलग मानकर उससे जुड़ी समस्याओं को सॉल्व कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज नो एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम फंक्शन इन आइसोलेशन। जब तक हम इस बारे में जागरूक नहीं हो जाएंगे कि हर जीव आपस में जुड़े हुए हैं, तब तक कोई भी सॉल्यूशन कंप्लीट नहीं होगा। अगर हम मिट्टी को ठीक करते हैं तो हमारे पास जीवन के हर पहलू को ठीक करने का सबसे अच्छा मौका होगा, बिकॉज इन मेनी वेज मिट्टी वह मंच है जिस पर जीवन पनपता है। हाल ही में हमारे देश के जाने माने योगी, इन्वायरमेंटलिस्ट एंड एजुकेशनिस्ट ईशा फाउंडेशन के संस्थापक सदगुरु ने सेव सॉइल के नाम से एक ग्लोबल मूवमेंट की शुरुआत की है, जो मिट्टी के संकट को दूर करने के लिए दुनिया भर के लोगों को एकजुट कर रहा है। यह अभियान मिट्टी में ऑर्गेनिक कंटेंट को 3 से 6% बढ़ाने के लिए सभी देशों के नेताओं को राष्ट्रीय नीतियाँ बनाने और कार्रवाई करने में मदद कर रहा है। तो आइए इस वर्ल्ड इन्वायरमेंट डे पर मैं, आप, हम सब मिलकर यह शपथ लें कि हम मिट्टी को नष्ट होने से बचाएं और एक बेहतर कल का निर्माण करें। सो सेव सॉइल एंड लेट्स मेक इट हैपन। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Water, one of the 5 essential elements of our life. We need it for drinking, food, agricultural, irrigation, sanitation, industrial purposes, and to produce electricity. Although there is only 1% of water that can fulfill all these requirements. The other 2% is either trapped in ice or glaciers, and the rest 97% is seawater that cannot be used in our daily life. This 1% water is known as fresh water that can only be found in rivers, lakes, ponds, or groundwater aquifers. Imagine this whole world depending on just 1% of water. In how much shortage of it we already are. But the scarier thing is, we humans are over-consuming and polluting it. And these activities are now making us face the water crisis. Let's take an example. When we continuously overpump the groundwater, the water table goes down. In many coastal areas, this low water table tried to balance by seeping the seawater, which ultimately contaminate it with variety of minerals. For 4 years, Chennai has been in news because of its low water table and other water crises. The reservoirs that once overflowed are now dried out, and the tankers supplying the groundwater have become the city's lifeline. Can you believe the city that once overflowed and experienced heavy flooding is now facing such severe water crisis? Many other states like UP, Bihar, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh are now going to face the same problem. Another reason for water crisis and pollution is agricultural irrigation. The insecticides and pesticides that people use in farming contain toxic mineral like arsenic that seeps down and contaminate the groundwater. And this polluted water can cause harm to human skin, lungs, liver, and may even cause cancer. Can you believe just more than 0.01 milligram per liter of arsenic concentration in water is that harmful? The states that are exposed to such high arsenic concentration are Assam, Manipur, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, and Bihar. Industries, on the other hand, waste too much water and contaminate it by dumping their waste products. The waterborne diseases because of this polluted water are now harming the human health to greater extent, and many people are dying. So, water crisis and pollution has been one of the most discussed topic on the global as well as local platform. We are using tomorrow's water in today's needs, and in this way we are going to run out of it really soon. Can you imagine this world without a water for a day? How would it be? Would you be able to have food on your table, a glass of water, or even a hygiene life? Absolutely no. So it is high time that we talk about it as much as possible and take preventive measures to save ourselves and our future generations from coming water crisis. We can start with small steps like do not let the run water while brushing your teeth, or approach organic farming or rainwater harvesting. Let's not forget that we have come really far from the very beginning of our life and are capable of doing anything. So why not do it in a good way? Save water.
Environment today is not what it used to be before. Its condition has deteriorated, and the factors responsible for the present deteriorating condition of our environment are pollution, global warming, climate change, deforestation, and many more. We all are aware of global warming, and for those who are not, they should be, as it is one of the crucial factors responsible for the present deteriorating condition of our environment. Global warming is the increase in the average temperature of the atmosphere near the Earth's surface. This warming of the Earth's atmosphere is due to human activities, primarily fossil fuel burning, which increases the levels of heat-trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This phenomenon of trapping radiations by greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbons, etc. is known as greenhouse effect. Owing to global warming, there has been severe cases of drought. Regions where there used to be a lot of rainfall are seeing less rainfall. Monsoon trends have shifted across the globe. Global warming has also resulted in melting of glaciers, which increases the levels of sea and causing floods in the lowlying areas. It has also led to the extinction of species which are very vulnerable to change in temperature and environment. For example, koalas are at risk of famine because of climate change. Several species of fish and tortoise are susceptible to change in ocean temperature and they die. The challenges that we face today are not only limited to global warming and climate change, as many scientists and experts have issued warnings and declared a state of climate emergency. To ensure coexistence between human and environment, we need to take immediate action and achieve balanced development so that we can build a sustainable future for humanity. To sum it up, always remember that every small deed matters. No matter how small a step you are taking towards greener lifestyle, if everybody in this world starts taking their individual small steps, then ultimately it will lead to something big and will help in protecting and conserving our environment, not only for present generation but also for our future generation, and making our environment healthy and green as it used to be before.